My name is Will England, and this is the Granite series that I shaped for the Haptic line of Kilter Climbing Grips. What I tried to do with this line of holds is recreate a lot of the textures and grips that you would find in the alpine areas in Colorado, similar to Area A on Mount Evans or Lincoln Lake. What I tried to do with the dimpling was recreate the crystal texture that you get at those areas, but make it really comfortable and it's not sharp at all. All the small finger divots and indentations are actually really comfortable. You want to grab them. So it's like all the good parts of climbing on granite without the blood and the pain. Alright, so we've got this 20 set of footholds. A lot of them are pretty decent. We've got a lot that have a nice spike on them, really good for steep walls. They're also pretty directional. We've got a really good taper on the outside, and a lot of the spikes are offset from the center and tipped a certain direction to really force you to articulate your foot onto the foothold. There are a number of just standard kind of smear feet in here as well that are just textured little plates. Moving on to these really small slopers. These are really good as footholds also, but they were mostly intended as something that you can put on a volume to create a slightly better surface to grab. And like with most of the other granite holds, there's a set of dimples that really are meant for you to grab, and the rest of the hold is going to be really hard to hang on to. Moving into the crimps, these are the smallest crimp set so far. Some of them are wall backed, so your fingers will actually touch the wall in the back as you're grabbing the hold, and others are hold backed, so your fingertips will roll right into the divots on each of the crimps. These are pretty darn hard to hold on to, probably around V4-ish on a flat wall and just going up exponentially from there. We were actually able to set a jade simulator with these on our 45, and it ended up being harder than that. No one can do it. These are our Skee-Ball Crypts. These are definitely better than the smallest crimp set, but there are definitely some really hard ones in here as well. Some small crimp pinches and just your kind of typical slot style crimp. Better for steep walls, but still definitely going to be difficult. Over here we have our mini jugs. This has been one of the more popular sets. They're super comfortable. They're great on any type of terrain. Even in a horizontal roof, you're still going to get kind of your V6 kind of mid-grade boulder problems. And with these, the focus was to really create a really comfortable hold that still had kind of that granite feel of dimples for each of your fingers to kind of settle into, and make sure though that that is still really comfortable, really smoothed out, so you're not going to catch anything on your skin, and you're going to be able to climb on these for a really long time. So these are our large granite slopers. I don't really enjoy the types of slopers that you are just wrapping all the time. What I tried to do with these was create hand positions on the hold that I wanted you to use, and then tapered the sides so that you really aren't getting much out of it if you try and wrap the whole sloper. And that's something that, you know, I feel like you don't necessarily wrap slopers like that outside. You get pushed more to the front of the hold, and I think these recreate that feeling pretty well. The same thing for these smaller slopers. Again, trying to eliminate that wrap and force the grip onto the front of the hold and into the grip position that was intended. brings us into some of these pinches. So here we have the first 5 set of pinches. These range from pretty flat and you know, that's going to be a decent pinch to something a little bit more slopey that you're really going to be fighting to stay on unless you're on a slab. These pinches here are one of my favorite sets. I think they, again, you know, really capture that granite feel where the pinch is really almost like a crimp with the thumb added rather than something big and fat. And this set has 10 holds in it. Some of them, you know, the thumb is directly opposite of the gripping surface, and some of them I like these little kind of offset pinch grips where the thumb is over towards the side of the grip rather than directly across from it. And that's just a hold type that I've found a lot outside that I actually really enjoy, and I think creates a different opportunity for movement as a route setter. And so there's 10 of them. This one here actually is pretty decent to match on as well. But some of these are definitely single hand holds as well. Sorry. This set of 5 granite pinches is in a little bit different style. The granite is a little lumpier. This is something that I've found in areas like Lincoln Lake where it is almost a sandstone-esque shape, but it's granite and still kind of has these dimples and kind of intricate finger positions. And this is a set I really like. They're all pretty good. The worst one is probably this one, and even that is still, you know, a good full pad pinch, good thumb catch. And I think these things are actually really comfortable and I enjoy them. Alright, we've got these large sloping dishes. Again, a Lincoln Lake inspired shape. If anyone's ever climbed the Boulder Problem Tomahawk, these are really similar kind of sloping dishes where you can kind of switch your grip positions. With these, I really tried to think about not just the hand positions, but the moves that you would do off of this type of a hold. So you're able to, you know, come out of hold, switch, and throw a heel up into it if that's what you're going for. But each hold has a couple different directions in which they're going to be comfortable to grab, and I think that opens up a lot of opportunity as a route setter as well. So this set is a 10 set as opposed to the 5 set here that was a bit larger, but again really similar but smaller. It's a little slopier, these kind of granite lumpy dishes. Some of these actually have a good enough bite that, you know, they're more kind of just like a sloping crimp on a face or a slab, but these I think are really great on volumes or around corners or on features. But they do a similar thing as the larger set where there's kind of multiple grip positions. Depending on how you orient the hold, you're going to grab it, you know, one way or another. And this is a really fun set. I like these a lot. What we also did with this set was put some extra screw holes. So they're all going to have either 3 or 4 set screw holes, so it makes it extra easy if you're trying to screw these in either exactly where you want them on an arete, or if you're working with a lot of volumes, they're already countersunk for you. Throw set screws in there. So these are our blocky granite holds. They've got a lot of different grip positions on them, a lot of different match opportunities, and another cool thing about them, you can actually stack them together to create different kind of pod or seam features if that's what you're going for. But they work great as well on their own. They range from sloper to in-cut. Some of these are actually more mini jugs or pinches, but they all kind of fit that blocky granite style. So we've got these cool little plate features here. Some of these are just, pretty typical sloping ledges. Again, great for arrests, volumes, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the grip positions are a little bit offset than what you would typically find. So some of these actually have, a crimp that comes in sideways on the plate rather than just straight, down pulling on the ledge itself. A lot of them have actually 2 or 3 different grip positions on them. Really good match holds, start holds, anything like that. This is probably my favorite set of slopers. These are really intricate when it comes to the dimpling. When you spin the hold, all these different kind of grip options will come out. Some of them, depending on the wall angle, you'll actually be able to pinch them, but depending on how steep it is, you can pretty easily eliminate that. A lot of different hand positions on these, so as you're setting, really easy to just spin the hold to kind of create a different move or create a different style of grip or difficulty of grip, but definitely one of my favorites and super comfortable, really comfortable shapes. The Kaiju in the Granite series are pretty sweet. We've got this larger kind of block feature. There's actually a lot of different grips integrated into this one shape. We've got a really nice pinch over here on the edge, just kind of a standard block jug here, but you can also flip the whole thing over and there's kind of a nice sloping rail here that orients the pinch kind of as an undercling as well as the block, but definitely a super versatile shape, and again, really comfortable, lots of different grip positions on that one. This is more of kind of a hybrid sort of tufa style hold, but again, depending on the wall angle, you can really eliminate the pinch on this. And this is actually a really great hold for kind of the classic Gaston pinch flip situation, because it's actually a good pinch on either side depending on how you move it, or you can kind of create a sloper situation with it as well. A lot of good opportunities for hand heel matches and things of that nature. Brings us over here to our biggest hold so far. This one is hard to pick up. So this is our biggest sloper. This one, again, just like the other 2 Kaiju, has a lot of different grip positions integrated into it. Depending on how you orient the hold and how steep the wall is, you're really easily able to eliminate or accentuate certain grips on it from really a lot of different angles. This thing is pretty wild. This is the biggest jug set that we have in the Granite series right now, modeled just after your typical Granite flake. These are, great in a roof or anywhere really, still comfortable on slab, nice and rounded at the edge. And some of these have actually some pretty cool catches inside of them, and the way that the hold tapers into the back of the grip, I think, creates a really comfortable grip position where it actually forces your hand a little bit more towards the front of the hold, so you're not burying your whole palm into it. This is the biggest one, as you can see, full hand, but again, really rounded radius. You could even use this on slab and no one's going to complain about that. This is an interesting set. It's pretty varied. There's kind of a hold of each grip type. This one is more of kind of a crimp jug, but instead of having the grip kind of at the front of the hold, it's brought over to the side a little bit, which coupled with this really nasty taper on this side creates a really interesting hold for lots of kind of like drive-by movements, or just forcing your climber to go to a hold that isn't necessarily in the typical position that they would expect it to be. This one is either kind of just like a big juggy pinch. There's another grip on this side as well, so really good for kind of direction changes or dynos. This is really super comfortable at any angle and is going to be a really big jug even in a roof. This one as well. This kind of has an interesting grip surface where the jug is actually recurved a little bit back up into the wall. I've climbed on this thing on slab and it's actually still really comfortable, but definitely a hold that's meant to be climbed on in a roof or another steep wall. The last hold in this set is almost more of a sloper jug than anything else. Again, still usable in a roof, comfortable on a slab, really wherever you want to use it. And just like with all these holds, really we paid a lot of attention to the taper on the back sides of the hold. So, you know, you're able to smear on them, but it's going to be extra difficult, and it really forces you to use the part of the hold that we wanted you to use. I'm Will Anglin. Thanks for checking out the Granite series from Kilter Climbing Grips.
Thank you for checking out my hole.